Just a welcome really to our launch event. I'll give a brief update really on what's happened so far. We started back the system started probably a year ago, but really since February we've got together. And over the last 10 months we've been engaging with people, arranging meetings, trying to get communities together. We've done the Bring Out Gala, we've been to schools, we've been to sports clubs, we've engaged with partnerships. Some of them are going to have 5 minutes talk tonight. And the big thing about Rastrick being local is about the community getting together. And we're getting there. Part of tonight was that we all felt that the first meeting back in February was come and get your money, and hundreds turned up, you know, for the meeting, and thinking I've just got a checkbook and we'll start writing checks out. And when people realised that there was a bigger process and it was a long-term plan, I think naturally people got commitments in other areas, so the group diminished slightly to a really group of people who were active in moving it forward. One of the targets that we set ourselves was to re-engage with people, and one of the action plans that we made was to allocate a certain amount of funds that we got given from Big Local for quick wins and community projects. We couldn't tell the difference between a quick win and a community project, so we just bundled into one fund really, call it a community project fund. Another thank you. The project that we are engaged in is a long-term project, but I need to say thank you to two groups really. The first group is what we temporarily call the steering group. These are the people that really on a day-to-day basis, emails are flying backwards and forwards, telephone calls, meetings at people's houses, in the streets, at clubs, and this is all done on a voluntary basis. So I really want to say thank you to the steering group committee of 8 or 10 people in that group. The second thing is the reference group, which is a wider community who just wanted to dip in and dip out, get involved in a small way, a large way, and help us out. Now, primarily that was for leaflet dropping, telling people at the shops, the post office, the library about the Big Local, and that's been a big help. So I want to say just thank you to those people, because without those members of the community, this project cannot work. Pretty much everybody knows Christine to my right, so who was in her official capacity as Deputy Mayor, but also is massively engaged within the project. We'll announce the fund and some of the guidelines, what's it all about, and then we're going to eat. And then afterwards we'll split into the tables, the groups, and that's going to be about anybody who wants more information, how to apply for the fund. The great thing about today is we are giving this money away. It's going out there. We don't have to keep it. If it was my decision, we'd have it all out there next week. Whereas Max keeps reminding me I can't do that. We don't have to keep it for anything. We need to spend it. And there are very few organisations at this moment in time that want to give money, actively give money, give it to you with as least hassle as possible, without it being a lengthy 2-year process of eligibility. So that's what tonight's all about. So, and it goes there. I just wanted to, the questionnaires, the money that got allocated to us for the big event next year, is part of their engagement with the community as well. So it's not a questionnaire to death night, really, sorry. It's just that they really would like some feedback, and the reason why this has been allocated to the Rastrick area is because there is a lot of development looked at in the future, and they need to really direct it in the right place. And one of the best things to do in marketing terms is to engage with customers one-to-one at NHS outlets or questionnaires. And that's why really the information that's gathered from these questionnaires is really important, because it will be to generate funds for your community to improve your services. So that's why it's important. Right, Christine. So Christine, the official capacity, is here to announce the community fund.
Thank you very much. Thank you. absolute, genuine pleasure. I've been saying that a lot over 6 months, and I've meant it every time, but I couldn't mean it more than I do tonight, to be in my home ward. We normally, as Deputy Mayor, in our role, and as Mayor, we don't get our ward heads on, but I'm going to make an exception tonight. I've had permission to do that, because this is very much about Rastrick, and I'm so proud that our community has been chosen as one that's got this money around, and we can make a plan as to how we think it can best improve our area. It's fantastic to see so many familiar faces, but equally so many new faces as well. So welcome all. Thanks ever so much for turning up on what is a foul night, and we will crack on, because obviously I do appreciate somebody might be clock watching a bit, worried about getting home, but hopefully the weather will stay okay. So here is the official launch of the fund. You've already heard about the amounts of the fund, but I'm just going to cover that again. But what I want to make sure you're all understanding is this is not part of the million at all. As part of the big local project, every area gets a getting started fund of 20,000, is that right? Yeah, 20,000. And so again, the steering group and in consultation with the wider group decided what can we do with that 20,000 to best spend it. And obviously one of the things we want to do first and foremost is to engage with people, to find out what everybody wants, because it's not just up to the steering group. Our job is to find out what the whole community wants. So we've done lots of questionnaires, and we intend to engage as much as we can. And that's what part of that money is going. But the other thing we wanted to do relatively quickly was for people to see results of this big local fund. So as Jason said, we sort of christened it quick wins. And that's really the idea behind this fund. We've already had our first quick win, and I'd like to thank you to Pennine Housing, and we've got Darren here from Pennine Housing today. They're working very closely as well with us. They've been very supportive of Big Local, and they've already spruced up the Ancliffe Centre as part of the Big Local. Today. Is it on today? Yes. On the side yeah. That's great news. And one of the pupils from this school actually, there were about 20 pupils put in designs for the sign. Has it gone up? No, all right. I'm just getting random pictures. One of the pupils was picked for the winning sign by the community at a big local event. And she was called Summer, I can't think of her surname, but she was thrilled to bits and she won a prize and a certificate. And her sign is actually now adorning the Ancliffe Centre. So people now know it's a community centre, and it's offered a bit of a facelift as well, hasn't it? So, you know, already we've had a result because of the big local project, thanks to Pennine Housing. So we want more of the same. That is exactly the sort of project we want. Improvements that people can see going on around their area. The amount of that fund is £13,000. That's 5,000 from the Community Foundation for Calderdale and 8,000 out of our getting started fund. We've designed the fund, you know, with advice from people who are used to having these kind of funds, to make sure that Rastrick Big Local are accountable to you and the residents, well, I know a lot of you are the residents, and to Big Local and to the Community Foundation to make sure that it's actually spent well. We are all going to get this in writing, so please don't feel you to make copious notes. You're all going to get a form with it. Let's see. So I think, as Jason said, after I've gone through it, there will be a chance for you to ask questions around the table informally with some facilitators. So the scheme is open to local groups and organisations who benefit people who live in Rastrick. So that's absolutely paramount, that it's got to help people in Rastrick and benefit people in Rastrick. There are a list of priorities, and it must meet at least one of those priorities. We're going through those in a moment. The projects must be completed by the end of July next year, so that's part of the quick win aspect. We want projects that will be done relatively soon. The amount that each group can apply for is between £100, so if you want any less than that, you've had it. £100 and £1,500. Okay, so that's the amount of the fund that you can apply for. So thank you for being quiet and smiling at me, that's always good. And enjoy your supper. And you have to beat me.